So I left you last lesson looking at this data validation option, and I said we're going to look at lists. So first of all, before I do, I'm just going to delete what we've got there. I'm going to choose a new cell just for no apparent reason, and I'm going to go to data validation again. In this case, I'm going to go to list, and I need a source for that list. So I'm going to go over here and let's give a source for that list. If I go back to that cell, I can do data validation and say list and tell it to use a source for that list. Now to do so, I need to click on this item here, and then I can select that there. I'm then going to press enter and click on OK. You'll immediately see I've got a small drop down symbol there and the numbers are there. So I can restrict the user to those numbers. Now obviously I typed 1 to 10 in, but there's no reason why I can't do a fill series to do that. The only thing is I can see that list. Now I potentially could move that to a different sheet, couldn't I? So let's have a look. I'm going to go to add a new sheet. I'm going to put a number 1 in. I'm going to select it. Let's drag it down to there and let's do a fill series. Let's go back to our list. Let's do data validation. Click on the arrow to choose our list and go to sheet number 4. And sure enough, I can select it. So I could potentially hide the values I'm using by having a different worksheet elsewhere. When I click on OK, I can click there and now I've got all the numbers that I want them to be able to select from. And that's quite neat and quite nice to be able to do. The other thing you can do is hide some of the data, and we've already seen one way of hiding the data. But another way of doing that, if you remember with the context menu I showed you last time, if we go to this column here, I can actually right click and choose hide, and it will hide the column for me. So I can hide it. Now have a look. The letters still work. I, K. Now you'll know that J should be there. So if all I want to do is bring that back, all I have to do is click, hold, drag to select all the columns either side of the hidden one, right click and choose unhide, and there it is, as if by magic it's back. Now I've lost a lovely cell, there it was in G5, because there's no way of defining it, seeing it until I'm clicked into it. So obviously our pretty border tool helps us enormously recognize data goes there. Oh, there's a drop down. I'm going to put a number in there and clearly something's gone wrong. We've got the error validation rule again, so there's nothing stopping me from going back to the data validation tool. So data validation. I can then put in the error alert, and that's not a problem at all. Okay, so I'm hoping that helps. It's a nice little short thing to work with, and we're going to be using that when we get back to the times table square project. But in the next exercise, we're just going to look very quickly at one of the things that we might want to be able to do, which is add and delete columns and rows. So, see you in the next video.